Hi there. I thought I'd pop in today because I just finished a coaching session with one of my clients. And the topic of discussion is something that I think is so relevant for everybody, especially in today's day and age. And basically, what the concern was that they were feeling like they were on autopilot, and that like every day was kind of rinse and repeat, that they didn't feel connected or like they were really showing up as the best version of themselves because they just were kind of going through the motions, and were frustrated that they weren't having the impact that they wanted to have with their team, and that they weren't achieving what they wanted to achieve and not being as productive. And so right away, the conversation went to one of the foundational high performance habits, which is clarity. And what I recommend, if you're in that place and you're feeling maybe the same way my client was, you're not alone. Like I've been in that place before, and we'll get into that place. And this is the where I always come back to is getting clarity around your identity, right? And that's where you can make the greatest strides in feeling reconnected and feeling like you're making a difference and having the impact that you want to make is through getting really clear about your identity. And so there's a really simple way to do this. This is a quick exercise. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about three words that describe yourself, like your best self, how you want to show up in the world, what you filter your ideas and decisions through. Again, really, it's about this is about your personal life and just like how you show up as yourself personally. Okay, so think about those three words. And if you're being challenged by this at all, if you happen to watch the last video that I did on influence, I asked you to think about a mentor or somebody in your life who made a difference. Maybe think about some of their characteristics so that you can kind of get the juices flowing and thinking about what are those three words that you want to use to describe your best self and how you show up in the world. So once you have those, so for me, self would be present. So I really want to be present and locked in with people when I'm with them. I want to be generous, and I want to be kind. So those are the three words that I kind of filter everything through. Next, I want you to think about the three words that best describe how you want to interact with others. So how you want to treat others, including, your team, anybody, your team, your family members, the person you're getting coffee from. What are the three words that you want to use to describe what those interactions with people look like? And then the next step to this is your success markers. So I want you to think about those things that if you were mentoring somebody and they asked you, what do you feel has made you most successful, in your career or in life or however you want to define success, what would they say about, what would you tell them? So that's kind of a good way sometimes if you're having trouble thinking about those success markers, those things that have made you successful. And some ideas might be, your resilience, your ability to, fail and learn from that and carry that with you. Maybe it's a growth mindset. Think about those things that are success markers. So again, let me just back up. Three words that define your best self and how you want to show up in the world. Three words that describe how you want to interact with others. And then three of your success markers, the things that have made you successful to date. And then I want you to think about and just ask yourself a question. When you look at those words, have you been showing up that way? My guess is probably if you're feeling that sense of disconnection and kind of like you're going through the motions, you likely haven't been. And so one of the ways that you can do that is because you have the best intentions, right? We all do. We want to show up as the best version of ourselves. But things just are coming at you a million miles an hour and you get into that reaction mode. Well, one way that you can begin to train your brain to think about these words on a regular basis so that you can start to filter that is through setting triggers for yourself. So putting, those 3 words, maybe they come up as a reminder in your phone first thing in the morning, maybe midday, because we all know what happens sometimes. If things unravel in the morning, then you can reset midday to remind yourself of those things. And then again in the evening before you begin to interact with your family and on, kind of the personal life side of things. But that's just a really great way to keep it top of mind, because otherwise, we get into autopilot mode, which is one of the reasons exactly why, this individual was feeling the way they were feeling. They were really disconnected with themselves and with their identity. So I hope that this makes sense. And then even if you want to take that one layer deeper, when you're thinking about these words in each one of these categories, think about why each one of these words is important to you. So for me, for presence, for example, the reason why that's important to me is because I really want people to feel like I am locked in and with them, and that I see and hear them. That's just one of my, the way that I communicate with people and how I want to show up with people, because I want them to feel that way. So if you can even go even deeper as to why those words are meaningful to you, and why you want to show up that way in your life, that can begin to make a real difference too in helping get really more present, more intentional about how you show up, how you interact with others, and in paying attention to those success markers. Because to those things that have made you successful, you want to be reflecting on those so that you can kind of replicate that behavior and be like, okay, this has worked for me in the past. I need to bring more of this into my life again so that I can begin to experience the gains that I've experienced in the past. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. It's just really a quick crash course in identity and how you can start getting some clarity around that so that you can begin to feel more connected again and intentional about how you show up. Thank you. Take care.